Did that just really happen? SAO alicization now officially worse than Goblin Slayer. So what's up guys, Fox in here. And yeah, compared to Goblin Slayer, that equals bad. Let me know if you get the reference. And funny part about this is that I actually saw the TV version in Japan. There's so much censorship. It actually reminded me of that Terraform Mars anime. You know, the one with roided out roaches. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. And definitely subscribe so you don't miss out on my SAO videos from a hardcore SAO fan. At the start of this, oh, it's raining. That's never good. So already setting up the scene for something tragic. At this point, Tisa and Roni were gone for a while. Dun dun dun. And right here, damn Kirito just going out the window like a freaking monkey. We saw him doing this before, although I just noticed they're not on the ground floor. That changes things. As for Frenica coming in here, finally getting a look at this abused girl. She looks a little like Roni. You did get a sense of the horrible situation she was in. Nobles really are terrible, aren't they? One thing to keep in mind is the time period for the underworld, which is why I can't say I'm too surprised that females are being mistreated and taken advantage of. Really, it doesn't make it any better. Always makes me feel bad, to be honest. Next up, Yujiro playing the FBI agent. This guy was smashing that poor door so hard, almost to the point of breaking it down just from anger alone. It almost sounded like when he was chopping down the tree. Then back into the noble hellhole. Rios and the other asshole here were just hotboxing in their place and enjoying 50-year aged wine. Lovely. Notably, the red dude here giving the wine glass some tongue action. What the hell, dude? I'm sure that was in preparation. I think SAO Season 3 has so far done a great job making you dislike these slimy nobles. Anyway, let's just get on to it. You got the poor girls tied up on the bed. Keep in mind that is extra soft red rope. It's definitely not gonna hurt your body. Perfect for kinky stuff. So, what crime did they possibly do? Oh, you disrespected some nobles from the 3rd and 4th C class. How outrageous. Come on, just the mindset of these two makes you want to avoid them till the end of time, or just throw up. It really made my skin crawl seeing how open Rios was about this. Oh, right, let me just jump into sexual assault. Super excited. In more ways than one, I'm sure. What is up with that leaping like a frog? But don't worry, it's just a noble authority, so it's totally a-okay. And my god, does this guy have a frickish long tongue. Is that just a noble thing? It may help that it matches the frog aspect. And about the judicial authority this bastard's got, let me quickly touch on that. I was actually really shocked to find out the extent of this. High-ranking, wealthy guys like this have access almost to their own mini taboo index. This comes when controlling and commanding those below them. From this, you saw Yujiro completely paralyzed from Rios. That sure is a lot of power given to people just being lucky to win the birth lottery. Also, let me just clarify, even though this is a quote-unquote grape scene, they technically cannot do any grape stuff or anything involving the mouth. Unfortunately, anything past that is fair game, as long as they're not doing damage. And even that is open to interpretation. And as for the sexual assault or beyond scene, I mentioned the Japanese version being censored as hell. It was like someone turned off the lights. The Crunchyroll version was a lot less censored, although you could still see some parts blacked out. And I have a feeling some scenes even got removed. We'll find out in like 3 months. As for the actual scene in question, come on, freaking Rios already taking the pants off. Honestly, seeing the poor girl struggling really hurt. And just seeing Yujiro with his own struggle on resisting was equally as touching. I was really rooting for Yujiro to do something. And yes, Yujiro actually went beyond and broke the taboo index restriction. Yujiro's eye freaking exploded. You really cannot go back now. Oh yes, Yujiro, you did it. And do notice how Rios was about to get freaking decapitated. Oh, so close. Unfortunately, he only got the arm of the older looking gentleman. As for Rios versus Yujiro, kind of. Ultimately, these guys were targeting Yujiro. Now, by the extension of this, they were committing that horrible acts on Tisa and Roni. Right here, Yujiro actually gave them more than what they wanted. He was now technically considered a criminal under that taboo index, meaning that execution by anyone was possible and fair game. On the flip side, fortunately, Kirito to the rescue. Cue in the haters. Why is Kirito saving the day? And while I hated seeing the girl suffer, really I did. I gotta say, I really enjoyed seeing Kirito telling these bastards off. Pretty much calling them trash, or beneath that at this point. Something to notice here is a talk about nobles and laws from Kirito. He isn't from this world, so technically none of the restrictions apply to him, thankfully. As for Kirito activating his main character powers, Kirito's Night Sky Sword grew again. This time, his sword got longer, thinking of Yu-Gi-Oh! Asuna, don't look. Minaide kudasai. Shikai form activated. I do like how some of you mentioned that it grew since it's a tree. Technically correct. Then for Raios here, again accessing the dark side power with that red lightsaber. Kirito used the force. It almost seems unfair how much of a power boost they get from that noble pride. Oh, what's your superpower? I'm rich, bitch. I don't know if you guys noticed here, Raios literally looked like a monster or demon here. Whoever did the animation for this was on point. I only wish Kirito or someone else punched him real good in the face before he left. Too bad for him that Kirito was not messing around. Oh, you want to inappropriately touch girls? Let me just freaking cut off your hands and bleed. That was like 10 times more satisfying than reading it in the novel. And by the way, I don't actually recall the blade getting split apart in the actual book. Either way, at this point, really no going back for Kirito and Yu-Gi-Oh! In a way, these bastards actually succeeded. As for Raios here, he turned into a freaking blood fire hose. Mustard guy, help! I like how the other guy was like, no way dude. Taboo index, recall that? I gotta save my ass first. I also gotta like how Kirito was so casual after that, really not caring at all. Which was really interesting in the novel. I was always wondering about it since Kirito killed, but it really didn't ever seem like he cared about this guy at all. Not that he shouldn't, but just the specific taking a life part. On top of this, I just love Kirito's addition. Yeah, this rope, go ahead and tie yourself together. Good luck doing that without any arms. I was just thinking Kirito pulled a Batman here from the first Batman movie. Technically, I didn't kill you, I just didn't save you. So right here, let's actually pause. I'm really curious how you feel about this whole scene, about how it played out. Was it too much going into the sexual stuff again? Or was it perfect execution? Next up, you got Raios EXE that has stopped working. Let me actually explain what the hell was going on with Raios. It turns out that a trained noble like his ass should have been fine for a good while longer, despite all that bleeding. What happened was that Raios got backed into a corner. He would have to choose between his own life by taking the rope from the mustard guy, thereby violating the taboo index, or following the taboo index. In other words, he was conflicted between dying himself or letting the other guy die. This whole contradiction set his mind into this infinite loop. Eventually, it just led to his flux light breaking down and collapsing on its own. Going back to what I said, technically Kirito didn't kill him. Raios really just died by his own mindset. That greedy asshole. If you think about it, if that didn't happen, he would have likely survived and even recovered later. But back to Kirito and Yu-Gi-Oh! Like I mentioned, these guys went too far. You even have the AI guy showing up again. Fortunately, Yu-Gi-Oh! Does have experience to what the hell that was, and it's definitely not good. The taboo index has been broken. Twice in fact. The Axiom Church will not be pleased. And by the way, really quickly, I gotta mention that that room is a damn mess. There's blood everywhere and the room is destroyed, almost as if someone just got slaughtered. Oh wait. Anyway, getting into the next day. I am glad for what Yu-Gi-Oh! And Kirito did, but unfortunately these guys pretty much screwed their life over, in just a few quick moments too. Right here, you saw Yu-Gi-Oh! Instantly getting his eye healed. As I was reading the novel, I thought Yu-Gi-Oh! Would go a lot longer without it. Thankfully, this world has sacred magic. I also do want you to notice that even though Yu-Gi-Oh! Got his eye back, the taboo index on him is no more. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has finally broken past it. And then for their sensei here. She is largely hinting that she knows a lot more than what's going on. A lot more than most people in the underworld know. I actually don't recall the exact details for her, although she was pretty much giving it away with her suspicion of Kirito here. If you've been questioning this underworld, definitely keep on doing it. As for the final moment, the mystery Golden Knight appears. Oh my god, who could it be? That must be Knight Sally. But of course not. It's freaking Alice. Finally, Alice is back from beyond the dead. I welcome you to Alice Synthesis 30th. One of the most powerful knights from the Axiom Church. And I'm really so happy to see her. I'm just getting chills thinking about it. Now is where the good stuff is coming. It's all downhill from here. Oh my god, I can't wait for next week. Overall, I gotta say that I freaking love this episode, especially with it being more Yu-Gi-Oh! Focused. They did a perfect job with that scene, really making me feel it, and I was just tearing up throughout it. It vastly improved so much on the light novel. This is definitely SAO turning indeed. Really quickly, I do want to touch on that scene again, and feel free to comment too. Just how bad was the actual grape scene? I would say, Goblin Slayer, take notes. Let me just say that they had a lot of freedom here from the light novel. The novel was surprisingly vague in some parts, and I'm talking about the original Japanese version. I'm almost feeling icky thinking back to it. That scene was super effective on me. Honestly, screw those nobles to hell. Throughout it felt like I was almost out of breath. Watching this really pissed me off. Of course, it could have been a lot worse for these girls, but you do see some boobage grabbing and a lot of licking. Ugh. What is up with these evil mofos and licking? Naturally, I'm sure this will make you think back to the Fairy King in Season 1. This, in comparison, was not as bad. It was technically more restrained here, since they were restricted. But really, you're comparing one piece of crap to a crap lit on fire. In the end, it's still all terrible, and smells bad too. By the way, let me just clarify that I'm not bashing on Goblin Slayer, just that scene of theirs. Specifically the one from episode 1, which is the only one I've seen. Something really interesting from this episode is actually a tweet from Reki about the grape scene. So Reki commented on why SAO used that plot element so frequently. The details are pretty interesting. He lets you know that in his middle school to high school days, the light novels he was reading about romance and adventures never actually dealt with this plot. So it seems that Reki wanted to tackle this element on his own. Of course, I didn't grow up in Japan, so I'm not familiar with light novel stuff from decades ago. And I really appreciate just hearing some of the stuff from the author himself. That being said, just waiting for the SAO hate train to kick in after this episode. Reki also apologized to the girls' voice actors for this episode. That's for Roni and Tise. By the way, really quickly, here's some insider information just so it doesn't catch you off guard. The second part of SAO Alicization will begin on January 12th. In other words, after episode, I believe 12, SAO will be on break for like 2 weeks. On top of this, they released information about the new opening and ending. The new title will be titled Resistor by Asuka. I'm honestly not familiar with her. On the other hand, the new ending will be titled Forget Me Not by Reona. She should sound or look familiar. It's the singer that did a lot of the songs for the SAO GGO spin-off series, and also did the songs for the Elsa character. To be honest, I'm surprised to see they're taking a break from Lisa or Eri, although I do expect to see them back soon. Anyway, getting into the light novel changes. Here's a couple of highlights. Throughout that one scene, you got almost no lines from Roni or Tise. In the light novel, Tise actually told Yujiro not to move, that he shouldn't worry about it since it was their punishment she should be taking, not him. Then, during Yujiro's struggle here, he thought to himself that he understood what happened to Alice years back. Alice was really just trying to help that fallen knight. Next up, Kirito actually didn't use any Icran style, but the style he learned from Rina Senpai. Keep in mind that Kirito didn't directly learn it from her, but from having seen her use it. The final thing they don't mention here is something regarding Volo and Rina. It got brought up here how they competed in the tournament to become Integrity Knights. Rina Senpai lost by having her whip cut and her sword blown away. Volo on the other hand got his left shoulder smashed into pieces. Volo wouldn't die, but he was still under medical care. Anyway, let me hear from you about this juicy episode. About that one scene, what did you think? Did you really feel for the girls here? Could you taste Yujiro's inner conflict? How screwed are Yujiro and Kirito now? And is anyone comparing this to the Asuna scene from season 1? Anyway, definitely smash that thumbs up and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, you can enjoy weekly SAO videos here. That is from a hardcore SAO fan. And I do have a lot of Alicization videos planned. By the way, are you making these Attack on Titan anime mistakes? Go ahead and find out, and I'll see you guys later.